Hey guys, just a quick update on the GX. A couple of small things, and then some plans for some repairs coming up in the near future. So if you can see from the front, I did a bumper chop on the front. I think I'd said this in one of my previous videos, but I think one of the previous owners had maybe bumped into something on the passenger side front bumper. There's kind of a scuff mark right here. And it had bent the bracket, so it was kind of pushing the front of the bumper back into the tire, the inner fender liner at least. So it was rubbing a little bit. I went ahead and used a heat gun and pushed the fender liner out of the way, but I was still getting some rubbing. So I just went ahead and cut it, and then cut the inner fender liners too. So just cut it along a body line, the body line that kind of runs right along. I guess where the bottom of the bumper is now. There's plenty of videos on YouTube about cutting it. So if you're interested in doing it to your own, I just look up one of those videos. So yeah, that's kind of the only major thing exterior that I've done. One of the things, or I guess a few things that I've done on the inside, I took off this screen protector I had. It's a matte screen protector, and it was just bubbling, just cheap quality. So I still have another one. I don't know if I'm gonna try to cut it down and use it, and hopefully it won't bubble around the edges like the previous one did. But for now, I just took it off. Another thing I did was when I installed the head unit, I had removed this cigarette lighter and put in a little USB plug-in that connected to the back of the radio. Since I have a car seat in the back, I have this little camera that plugs in down here into this cigarette lighter. And if I needed to charge my phone, I was having to use this little splitter, but it just didn't work great, and it would kind of lose connection, and then my phone would charge pretty slow. So I just, and I never used this, these USB ports. I just always have my phone connected to CarPlay, and it connects wirelessly. So I just put this cigarette lighter back in, and then have a, just little charger with a cigarette lighter charger with a USB cable on it. So yeah, that's one thing I kind of went back on. Another thing I removed, and you can't see it, just because it's up under the dash. But I had installed previously a Diode Dynamics Smart Tap flasher relay. And it goes, the fuse box is up in here. If you pull that, there's where all your fuses are, and it's mounted on the back side of that fuse box. So I removed that and just reconnected the factory flasher relay. And I'm not getting any hyper flash. I think previously when I only had LED turn signals in the front and not the rear, I was getting some funky behaviors from the flashers. And now that I have LEDs on all four corners, I'm not getting any hyper flash with the factory flasher relay. But actually mainly, I just wanted these orange DRLs back. It's kind of a staple of older Toyotas, those orange running lights, when the turn signals light up. And since these are LEDs, they shouldn't melt the inside of the housing. On the OEM, original housings that I took off, the whole inside of, this little compartment where the flasher goes on both of them, was just completely melted because those incandescent bulbs just get so hot. And over the course of whatever it is, 17 years or however long, it just melted the inside of the housing. So yeah, I removed that, got my DRLs back. But yeah, that's kind of, the few things that I've done. I haven't had a lot of time to do anything. Still planning on doing the whole interior conversion to the black. I found a set of OEM airbags for the rear, since mine have been leaking and getting worse. So I'm getting those from a guy off of the Facebook page, and I'm going to swap them in for the time being. And then, yeah, we'll kind of go from there. but just something to kind of get me up and running for a little bit. After that, I'm not super sure, you know, how long it'll be before I can, you know, kind of put, you know, a little bit more money into it. Obviously, I still have to do the CV axles. I haven't done those yet, and I want to do those before I do anything, you know, kind of lift wise. But eventually, you know, we will be putting the lift on it, and doing the whole interior refresh. We'll be doing pod lights, and a roof rack. You know, we'll be doing all the fun stuff. You know, maybe a tire carrier on the rear down the road. So yeah, you know, just it may be a little bit slower timeline. Just got some stuff going on, tying up some time and money. But yeah, so that's just a couple of small things. Biggest thing was the bumper chop, but that was free. And you know, took me a lunch break to do, so not too bad there. But yeah, you know, like all the other times, just, you know, subscribe if you're interested in seeing it go. You know, I know it's moving a little bit slower than a lot of builds on YouTube, but you know, this is just kind of, you know, I don't have infinite time and money to sink into it right now, and it just kind of comes as I can afford it and as I get the time. So yeah, you know, I like how it's sitting right now. We'll get those airbags put in, and get that situated so it's not leaking anymore. And then I'm really interested to do the stuff on the interior. There's just so much different stuff I want to do to get it all ready. You know, getting the paint, you know, I'll have to find the time to pull the dash. I got to source some black vents. Yeah, and then, you know, I'd like to source some black shift boots and e-brake and stuff like that, so it all looks, you know, how it's supposed to. But yeah, it'll come. It's just going to take a little bit longer before we get there. So yeah, like I said, just quick update. More will come in the future. It may just be a little while. So subscribe if you're interested, and I'll see you next time.